Friday Facebook video. Today I actually am in Canmore for my weekend retreat, my paper crafting retreat that I run twice a year, both in the fall and in the spring. So I have recorded this ahead of time for you guys because I know the Wi-Fi at the hotel is not the best and I didn't want to miss the Facebook Friday video. So today I want to show you a card that I made with the Merry Mistletoe stamp set, and also one of the fabulous new folders that is in the holiday catalog, the Snowflake folder. So I'm going to flip the camera and get started and show you my Christmas card. Okay, so let's get started. First thing I want to mention before I start my card is the Designer Series paper sale that is on now until the end of October. And it's any of these Designer Series papers here in the catalog on page 188 and 189. And there's also some packages in the holiday catalog as well. And the special is buy 3, get 1 free. So the one I'm going to feature today is this one at the bottom here called Be Merry. And I'm just going to take a minute to show you some of the prints, because this is a really fun paper for Christmas, and I love that it has like traditional Christmas colors. This is one of my favorite prints. It has, I don't know if you can see the little tiny reindeer print. And it's cherry cobbler. So you have garden green on the other side, some more garden green little trees, and then this one has ornaments. I've got like multiple packages because I've been using this up. This one has cherry cobbler with the white stars, and look at those mittens on the other side. So awesome. And that's the same print again with the green on the other side. And then we have more cherry cobbler prints. And look at the trees on this one. I love that. And more of the mittens, the garden green, and some white with green stars. So, and some more repeating patterns. So as you can tell, I'm really in love with this paper, and we have garden green ribbon and cherry cobbler ribbon to coordinate with it as well. But you want to pick up a package of this before the end of October, and you'll be able to get that buy 3. Another product that I'm going to be featuring today on my card is this Winter Wonder textured embossing folder. It's a super fun folder. I love this. This is definitely a keeper. Can you see the big snowflake there? Anyway, I'll show you when I make the card. So we're going to be using that today. We're also going to be using Merry Mistletoe. Now this stamp set is in the annual catalog, so that's the bigger catalog that we have until the end of May. So you want to pick this one up because I think this one's going to be a great one for Christmas. I love that it has greetings for the outside and also something for the inside. Okay, so let's get started. So I have a piece of Whisper White thick cardstock. It's cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. Okay, so I'm just going to set that aside for a second. Then I have a piece of my regular Whisper White cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I'm going to slip that into my Winter Wonder textured embossing folder, and I'm going to put it in, and you can probably see on the camera. I'm not sure if you can see, but I'm going to veer my, try to get my snowflake to the left as far as I can, okay? So I'm pushing my cardstock to the right side. And, oh, I should mention, if I've had this question before. So when you're putting your cardstock into your folder, you want to have the Sizzix and the black Stampin' Up logo pointing towards yourself, okay? So that way the impression will be popped out. So we'll put that in like that. And now I'm going to make my bring in my big shot here, and I'm going to make my sandwich with my clear plates. So I have 2 clear cutting plates and my big shot platform. Put all that together, make my sandwich, and then roll it through. I'm going to get rid of my big shot for now. And voila, look at that beautiful snowflake. Love it. Okay, so now I can go ahead and stick this down on my card. I'm just gonna grab, I'm actually using snail today. I usually use Fast Fuse, as you probably all know, but snail is on my desk, so I'm just gonna use that today. Snail is a great adhesive too, don't get me wrong. I just like Fast Fuse because it's so sticky. And often I'm making boxes and treat containers and such, so it's nice to have a stronger adhesive for those 3D items. So there's my snowflake. So let's just set that aside. Now I've cut myself two circles using my layering circle dies. I've got a garden green piece and then a smaller whisper white piece that I'm going to do my stamping on. So I want to bring in the reindeer from that Merry Mistletoe stamp set, and I'm going to stamp him in crumb cake. So crumb cake ink. So I'm just going to tap, tap, tap 3 times and then just stamp him on my circle, just like that. And then I'm going to bring in my cherry cobbler ink pad, and I'm going to stamp Christmas wishes. So ink that up, and I'm going to stamp that right across the front of my reindeer, like that. And close my ink pads so I don't make a mess. And I have my garden green ink pad, and I'm going to sponge the edges. I always like to sponge the edges of my whisper white cardstock just to make it pop a little bit more. So I'm going to dip my sponge in and just scratch the edges of my cardstock, making that little garden green shadow, I guess you call it, along the edge of my circle. There. So that's done. So now I'm going to stick that onto my green layer. I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals. When it's a big circle, I like to use 3 dimensionals. And pull off my wax paper. Now that's ready to go. Whoops. Now I've cut a piece of our, can you see that? That's the Dazzling Diamonds glimmer paper. And I've also cut a piece of that designer series paper that I was showing you with the little reindeers on it. So I want to make those into flags. Now we do have a punch for 1 inch, 1.5, and 2 inch flags, banner punch, the triple banner punch. And you could use that, but I'm just going to show you a trick with my scissors. So I did a little snip straight up from the bottom in the middle, and then I'm coming in from the corners into that snip. And I hope you can see what I'm doing here. It's there. So then I've got that flag shape, okay? And I'm going to do that with the, now I want my reindeers to be going the right direction, so I'm going to be sure to do it on this end here. So straight up through the middle and in from the corners. Okay, so then I'm actually going to, I would prefer, oh, there it is. I would prefer to use Fast Fuse when I'm sticking things onto the glimmer paper, because the glimmer paper, it's a little trickier to get things to stick to it. I think it's just the texture, all the glimmer particles, it resists the snail, but Fast Fuse, it sticks really good. So I'm just layering that on there. So I've got my cherry cobbler with the background in the Dazzling Diamonds. And I'm just going to put some Fast Fuse on the back of that. I'm going to bring in my card. I'm going to put this banner right towards the bottom edge of the card, like that. And then I've got my circle, and I'm just going to layer that right on top with the dimensionals. And there's my quick and easy Christmas card with the textured background, which I love. You could even take your Wink of Stella brush and add some shine and shimmer to that snowflake. You could add some rhinestones in the center and on the outside edges. So many ways to decorate your card, or keep it simple. So thanks for joining me today on this Facebook Friday, and I will be back next week with a live video. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.